Gee, Tom, space. Are you going to be celebrating the 4th of July this year or not? Space question mark. Gee, nameless, faceless troll. Yeah, I am. I don't think I've ever claimed to not want to celebrate the 4th of July. I understand that there are people on the left side of the political aisle in the United States of America that don't, and I understand their reasons why they don't. I will always celebrate the 4th of July. Because even though we are an incredibly flawed nation, an extremely flawed nation, with a grotesquely dark and insanely horrific past, I think that we have still done a lot of good in the world. And from a personal standpoint, living in this country has afforded me the ability to have the kind of life that I've had. Living in this country has afforded me the kind of life where when I was a young man, I was able to quite literally sell everything I owned. I had an apartment just outside the city of Chicago, and I sold all of my furniture, all of my possessions, gone, and narrowed it down to what I could fit into a big hiking backpack, them framed out hiking backpacks. And everything I owned went in that. And I spent a few years in the early 90s hitchhiking across the country and living out of a tent. I believe I was afforded the ability to do that because of the country I live in, at least partially because of the country I live in. Later on, I've been lucky enough to fall ass backwards into a job that led to a 26-year career, where a guy who lived for a few years in a tent and who's a high school dropout was still able to climb the ladder because of his skin color, his ability to comprehend the job in front of him, and a whole lot of fucking breaks. And because of that, was able to carve out a semi-comfortable life for himself and his family. And I believe part of that is because of the country I live in. Part of it is because of those incredibly flawed ideals that this country has held for so many years, and because of that incredibly dark and grotesque past. But yeah, I will always celebrate the 4th of July. I will always celebrate the idea of living in a country that allows you to do things like that. Think about this for a moment. I am a 53-year-old high school dropout, former landscaper, who now makes insane money doing this. I am literally, officially a full-time content creator. That is fucking nuts to me. But that's the reality of the situation. And I believe that I'm able to do that. I'm able to get up and go feed my birds in the morning and water my garden instead of having to race out to go to work, and then be able to come inside and have a little breakfast and casually stroll down here to my home office and sit down and start making content and live a good life as a result of it. I believe that is happening because of the country I live in. So yeah, I'm going to be down there with the rest of my town, watching the fireworks, celebrating in my own way the 4th of July. Understanding my country's dark past, understanding where we are now, and understanding where we can be. Yes, I will definitely be celebrating the 4th of July. Plus, it's my father's birthday. And he's been gone for a handful of years. He died in 2015. But, that in and of itself is going to mean I'm always going to celebrate the 4th of July on some level.